Jenny, quick question. What is the single greatest invention of the 20th century?
Oh, the internet? Antibiotics? No, wait. I'm holding it right now. The remote control. Welcome to the MA English Cafe. We are diving into the hidden histories of everyday inventions that you use without a second thought.
Exactly. We rely on these brilliant little gadgets every single day, but we never stop to think who actually invented this and why. We treat them like they just appeared, fully formed on our couch cushions.
And the remote control is the perfect place to start. It's the ultimate symbol of modern convenience. But its history is far more dramatic than just wanting to change the channel without getting up.
It is. The very first remote was called Lazy Bones, invented back in 1950 by Zenith. That name alone tells you exactly what they thought of their customers. But the funny thing is, the Lazy Bones remote was connected to the TV by a long trailing wire.
Wait, a remote control with a wire? That completely defeats the purpose. You still had to untangle the cord and probably trip over it just to change the volume.
It was an improvement, but hardly the pinnacle of convenience. The real game changer came in 1955 with the Flashmatic, invented by Eugene Poley. Do you know how the Flashmatic worked?
Tell me, this is like historical trivia.
It used 4 photoreceptors in the corners of the TV screen. The remote was a flashlight. You would point the flashlight beam directly at the corner of the screen to change the channel or turn the set on and off.
That's hilarious. Imagine trying to watch a movie in the dark, and every time you wanted to change the channel, you had to shine a bright light directly into the screen. That sounds like an absolute nightmare for the viewer.
It was a brilliant but deeply flawed concept. It had one major problem. The TV could be accidentally controlled by any bright light, including a lamp or even the sun shining through a window.
So, on a sunny day, your TV would just randomly cycle through the channels on its own. It sounds like the TV was haunted.
It was like a technological ghost. It wasn't until the 1980s that we got the reliable, non-flashing infrared remote control we know today. The story of the remote shows that innovation isn't just one moment. It's a long process of solving one problem only to create 2 new ones.
That's a fantastic takeaway. And this kind of story, the unexpected history of something mundane, is exactly what makes English listening practice so easy and engaging. You learn history while you learn language.
Now, let's move from the couch to an even more essential and older piece of household technology. We've discussed a modern invention. Now let's talk about something truly ancient. Something so fundamental that its invention literally changed public health forever. I'm talking about the modern flush toilet.
The toilet! I've always thought it was the most underappreciated invention of all time. We literally take it for granted. Do you know who invented the flush toilet?
Most people think of Thomas Crapper, but he didn't invent it. He only popularized it later. The true credit goes to an Englishman named Sir John Harington in 1596.
Sir John Harington? That sounds like a character from a Shakespeare play.
He was. He was a godson of Queen Elizabeth I. He installed the very first flushing water closet, he called it the Ajax, in his own manor house and then gifted one to the Queen herself.
Wait, so Queen Elizabeth I was an early adopter of the flush toilet? That's an amazing historical detail.
She was, and it wasn't a smashing success initially. The technology wasn't perfect, and the installation required complex plumbing that most houses simply didn't have. It was considered a strange, luxurious novelty for over 200 years.
That shows how slow technology can sometimes be to catch on, even when it's desperately needed.
And that's the real story. The importance of the toilet isn't luxury, it's public health. Before widespread sanitation, cities were breeding grounds for disease. The toilet and the sewage systems that followed were critical for reducing illnesses like cholera.
So the flush toilet isn't just about convenience. It's a technological marvel that saved millions of lives. It's an invention that solved a massive global problem.
It absolutely is. And this brings us to a fascinating point about invention itself. Sometimes the most important things in life are the ones we pay the least attention to.
That's true. We obsess over the newest phone, but the clean, reliable infrastructure under our feet is what truly matters. And if you are enjoying these fun historical facts while practicing your English listening skills, please hit the like button and subscribe to MA English. Your support helps us uncover more of these hidden stories.
Now, let's move to our final invention, which wasn't even meant to be an invention at all. It's a classic case of accidental genius.
I love stories about accidental inventions. It proves that sometimes the biggest discoveries happen when someone is just trying to do something else entirely.
What is our final invention, Ben?
Our final invention is one that is used daily in almost every kitchen around the world: the microwave oven.
The microwave. I use mine every day, but I have no idea how it works. I just know it makes things hot incredibly fast. How was the microwave invented by accident?
It was invented by an American engineer named Percy Spencer in the mid-1940s. He was working for a company that built radar equipment for the military, which used powerful magnetron tubes to generate microwave radiation.
So he was working with high-powered radio waves. What was his job?
His job was to test these powerful magnetrons. One day, while working near an active magnetron tube, he noticed a strange phenomenon. The chocolate bar in his pocket had melted, not slightly soft, but thoroughly melted.
Wait, his discovery was triggered by a melted candy bar? That is the most relatable invention story ever.
Exactly. Most people would have been annoyed and gone to buy a new chocolate bar. Spencer, however, was an observer. He immediately realized the powerful energy from the magnetron must have been responsible for the rapid internal heating.
That's the difference between an ordinary person and an inventor. Seeing a melted chocolate bar and thinking, this is the future of cooking.
He immediately put popcorn kernels near the magnetron, and they popped all over the lab. He then tried an egg, which famously exploded in a coworker's face, and thus the first microwave oven was born purely by accident and curiosity.
The explosion of the egg confirmed the idea. That's incredible. The initial domestic microwave oven was huge and expensive, about the size of a refrigerator, costing thousands of dollars. It took years to shrink it down to the countertop model we use today.
It did. The story of the microwave is the perfect capstone to our discussion. It shows that innovation comes from necessity, like the toilet, persistence, like the remote, or sheer accident, like the microwave.
And the biggest lesson for our listeners is that the most powerful inventions are often hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to observe the detail.
So, next time you are sitting on the couch, pointing your remote at your microwave dinner, remember the historical journey that item took.
Thank you so much for joining us for this fun, lighthearted discussion. What invention should we investigate next? Let us know in the comments.
We'll catch you next time at the MA English Cafe.